Hello, I'll be filling in for Mark Davis in the morning, getting ready for that and getting ready for you. So just so you know, for Dallas-Fort Worth listeners or anywhere, tune in tomorrow to AM 660 The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Here's the graphic, my friend Mark Davis, been a long-time friend of mine. So I'll be filling in tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, 7 to 10 a.m. Central. Do not miss that in La Mañana. Meantime, Talarico shouted down by black folks at a black voter forum in DeSoto and also in Houston. Lots of stuff going down with Talarico, Talacrepo, whatever you want to call him. So we're going to hit that big time. You're going to see some stuff. You're going to hear a lot of stuff. It's interesting because two publications, conservative publications, one says that Talarico is saying yes to reparations. Another says he is kind of dancing around it and trying to come up with something that's not reparations. All that coming up in just a moment. You have to hear what some of these black activists are saying about him. They are not going to vote for him, some of them. He's not going to get anywhere near those levels of Beto Hussein O'Rourke and Colin Allred, who is black. But we'll get to that in a second. But also I want to get into, coming up, we have a hero who's coming home. She's not coming home alive. She's from Carrollton. We talked about her a little bit yesterday, but today we have more information from a great CBS, Texas, CBS 11 story in Dallas-Fort Worth about her. That is a must hear. Also, did you see the Cubs fan who slapped a kid for not standing up for the national anthem? Well, you'll see it. The hot weather that we're in right now, no matter where you're at, it is not as hot. I'm thinking, unless you're in Phoenix. I have listeners in Phoenix and followers in Phoenix. But there you're probably hotter. Other than that, in DFW today, I think it was 104. I don't know, 106. Tomorrow it's going to be the same thing. All that coming up in just a minute. But first, this show is brought to you by IRSprob.com. That's IRSprob.com, helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and tax planning strategies. Randy is an amazing CPA. He is my CPA, and you need to use him too. Okay, Talarico. Do you remember this? I played this for you yesterday, but there's more context to it. This video of a black woman, and I told you this. I said she's going to be a militant BLM activist, and there's no way he's going to get her vote. Here she is just calling him out and getting all nasty. I've got the exact transcripts of what she said, but here it is again.
So you stay here, you answer our questions, or you suffer the consequences.
So I'm happy to engage. We'll come to here in just a second. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you traveling in, and I appreciate you.
I did it for my people, not for you.
Wonderful, and I think that's wonderful. And it's all right.
You hear some of the black voters saying, "Shut up, dumbass." Hold on.
Wonderful, and I think that's wonderful. And it's all right. This is what this conversation is supposed to be about. Yeah. So one.
She's just standing there, and he's like, But I have a lot more information on this today from The Hill, from the Dallas Express, and from Texas Scorecard. All of it is very revealing. And also, there's no way in hell, as I've been telling you for a couple months now, there's no way in hell Talarico's going to win. The statistics I culled today from these stories is remarkable about how very, very, very badly Talarico's going to lose when it comes to the black vote. But first, let me get to the meat here. This is when he was talking. That is from when Talarico was talking at an event. I believe this is the one in Hello in. I said it already. Where is it? In DeSoto, just south of Dallas, a Dallas suburb there on the south, and also one in Houston. But let me share this with you. So she said, he took questions for more than 90 minutes. She said, you're going to stay here and answer all our questions or you suffer the consequences. You heard her say. She is a BLM Marxist leftist activist named Candace Weber. I'll tell you more about her in 1 second. It's pretty nasty about Talarico's chances with her and what she's saying about him. When Talarico told a woman he appreciated her for traveling to attend the town hall, she replied, I did it for my people, not you. Yesterday, I told you that she was a militant leftist BLM type, and sure enough, she is. Her name is Candace Weber. she later posted in another video after this in which she said real black folks, quote unquote, were going to sit the election out to teach white moderates a lesson about earning the support of black voters. She said she would prefer Paxton. What? She would prefer Paxton, Talarico's GOP opponent, winning the Senate seat over Talarico, trying to instill your great white hope into my mother effing people and watch you let us down. So she literally would rather vote for and have Paxton win because this guy is going to instill your great white hope into my mother effing people, full word, and then we'll watch you let us down. She argued that Paxton would have less power to, quote, this is so funny, to, quote, terrorize and torture black Texas voters. Who knew that Paxton is terrorizing and torturing black voters? Wow, this is revealing. Oh, where's the torture chamber? I want to know. She says that Paxton would have less power to terrorize and torture black Texas voters and Texas children as a senator than he does as an attorney general. This is who Talarico's got to appease. It's so funny. I'm not going to let your white moderates win, she said in this video she put together after Talarico, after this event. Because in 2028 we need to elect a new mother effing president, and you white moderates and you lowly A-word effing candidate like James Talarico keep pulling your S-word, and we're going to end up with another effing Trump. Now, here we go. This is important. This whole piece, I think, is from the, I think this is from Texas Tribune, but let me continue on. Well, this actually might be from Dallas Express. Forgive me, I've mixed all my resources together here. But here's the thing you need to know, that when Beto Hussein O'Rourke, the cultural appropriator, ran, and Colin Allred, who is black, fake moderate, he's a hardcore leftist, when they ran to try to defeat Ted Cruz, they both roughly won 90% of blacks. Beto won 90% of blacks. Colin Allred won 90% of blacks. And I'm telling you, Talarico is not going to pull the same numbers that Beto and Colin pull. He'll pull 85, maybe 80, because of the non-binary God, the six gender stuff, the meat stuff. The ads have barely even begun playing against him. So the good news is that Beto and Colin Allred got 90% of the black vote and still lost. He will not get their numbers. He will not get their numbers. Remember that there was the whole scandal when he was running against Colin Allred in the primary, and he called Colin Allred a, quote, mediocre black man, according to a black Democrat activist who he said that to, she says. That whole scandal has just ripped and miffed the black community, miffed Jasmine Crockett, miffed Colin Allred off, and started out on the wrong foot with him, and it's not going to be healed much, I believe. But I've told you this, the Talarico needs Hussein Obama-level numbers in the black community. He has to walk on water, have rainbows shooting out of his wrists. He has to get a lot of black folks from the cities to come out and vote for him, and he's not going to get that, and that's how he has to win. I think it was Gromer Jeffers saying that, the Dallas Morning News political journalist. And here we go. The town hall in DeSoto is the one that I just talked to you about and played you from that video. And what's happening is the black community, at least at these venues, and black politicians that you'll hear about in a second, are holding Talarico hostage to get what they want of him. They want money, they want power, and they want him to push things that they want him to push and to achieve victories they want, or they're not going to vote for him. And you'll see that laid out in these stories. First of all, Jasmine Crockett has declined to campaign alongside Talarico, reports Texas Scorecard. Previously described the Senate race as a racist race. Thank you, Jazzy. Talarico is giving out money to white GoTV organizations and white infrastructure. This is from Jolanda Jones, a radical leftist BLM-type Democrat out of Houston. She says Talarico is giving out money to white GoTV organizations and white infrastructure and Hispanic infrastructure, but he's not giving it to black infrastructure, says State Rep Jolanda Jones. Talarico needs to pay us She says, just like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, Talarico needs to pay us to get our voters out. Only then does Talarico have a chance to win, she says, and she's right. Following Talarico's pledge on Sunday to help, pour in like $25 million to the black community and black efforts from his campaign. Following that pledge, Jelana Jones maintained he has been unwilling to listen to black Democrats and has thus far declined to endorse him. She is not endorsing him. The town hall in DeSoto is where one black person asked Talarico whether he supports reparations and whether he would support legislation addressing crimes committed against black Americans. The majority of crimes committed against black Americans are committed by blacks. That is a statistical fact. Do not believe me. Look it up yourself. Rather than directly answering whether he supports reparations, Talarico said he supports repairing past harms. The Texas scorecard says he does not support reparations. You will see in a second the Dallas Express says he does. I think the Dallas Express has it wrong. A request for clarification on whether Talarico considers his position to be support for reparations was not immediately returned. The campaign has not acknowledged whether it's that. Now comes the Dallas Express today, and they say clearly right here that Talarico backs reparations as black voter outreach faces scrutiny. Talarico backs reparations for blacks. He does not. They think he does. He does not. Dallas Express has some good stuff in the story, though. Talarico endorsed reparations, they claim, Monday, July 20th, at a campaign stop in DeSoto. Quote, reparations, repairing past harms, is part of my faith tradition. It's part of the values I was raised with. But he doesn't say he supports reparations. He said it's part of his faith. Talarico pointed to tuition relief, home ownership grants, government-funded baby bonds, but that is not reparations. Now, Candace Weber, the woman I told you about who said, you're going to stay here or else, and I'm doing this for my people, she said this, quote, talking about reparations and remaining in the audience, quote, our people don't trust you for this reason, she told Talarico, according to the Houston Chronicle. Okay, that was in Houston, the one where she confronted him. You cannot win without us, so you stay here, you answer our questions, or you suffer the consequences. Talarico, listen to this. This is freaking huge. Talarico lost 8 out of 10 of every black vote. He lost 8 out of 10 of every black vote in Houston and Dallas during his primary against Jasmine Crockett. I repeat, Talarico lost 8 out of 10 black voters to Jasmine Crockett in the primaries. Now listen, you might say, well, of course he did. How many of those black voters have voted for Jazzy over him? 80-20. 80 for her, 20 for him. How many of them are going to flip and go to him? Not all of them. You're lucky if it's 3/4 of them. So he's screwed. So that's what the Houston Chronicle reported. 8 of 10 black voters in Houston and Dallas voted for Crockett over him. Quote, he called Colin Allred a mediocre black man, according to a black woman who is a Democrat activist in Dallas-Fort Worth. That will be used. You will see that black woman in her... She put out like a tweet or a post on TikTok saying that he called him a mediocre black man. You will see that in ads, and it will be devastating to Talarico. Devastating. Period. And that is a fact. Continuing on, Allred rejected Talarico's explanation about, well, I didn't say you're a mediocre black man. Allred rejected that explanation. In other words, Allred so far has not come around and say, you know what, I forgive you, or you're okay, buddy, I'm going to endorse you. Bad news for Talarico. Meantime, today in Dallas-Fort Worth, Paxton and Talarico had dueling press events. Talarico was doing a Fort Worth school, I believe, preschool, not a mainstream school, if you will, but a preschool. And Paxton had an event with 21 law enforcement officers, mostly sheriffs, I believe, and the head of the Sheriff's Association for the state of Texas, all endorsing him. Paxton said that Talarico had voted to weaken qualified immunity for police officers. That is very true. Qualified immunity means when a cop does his job, if something goes bad, that the cop could be sued personally. Hell no. You will have nobody that will be a police officer because they are human beings and they make mistakes. Qualified immunity then means they can go after you instead of the police department. Hell no. Talarico wants to intimidate, bully, and neuter our freaking cops. Hell no. That's un-Texan, and that's who Talarico is, which is why he's not going to win. I will say it again, and I will say it every time. Talarico's going to lose by 7 points or more against Paxton. I know Paxton is not the best candidate. He had my vote. I think he was the best, but being a candidate himself, he's not the strongest compared to a milquetoast moderate like Cornyn, who was horrible, who further showed how much he's not a real Republican by attacking Trump and saying, I'm going to hold up your nominees if you don't do what I want for PEPFAR, aid to Africa. Cornyn has always been anti-Trump, but pretended to kiss Trump's rump and pretended to be not a moderate when he is a moderate and always been a joke. So thank God we got rid of Cornyn, by the way. Paxton and Talarico. Paxton also said that Talarico donated to the Austin Justice Coalition in 2020 when the group was pushing to defund the police, because that's who Talarico is. We all know this. Talarico said he wants to ensure families today at this pre-K event he wants to ensure families don't pay more than 7% of their total income on pre-K for 3 and 4-year-olds. I am not paying for your kids' child care. I'm not paying for your child care. You have a child, you pay for your own child care. If you are indigent, if you're poor and you're single, that's different. We already have programs for that. That's not what this is. I am not paying for your freaking child care while you go have a double income job making two people making $200,000 a year, $150,000, I ain't paying for your freaking child care. You figure it out like we figured it out in this house. Here's also something about Paxton versus Talarico. Paxton is lagging behind Talarico on funds, less than a quarter of what his rival has since the start of the race. So Paxton has a quarter of what Talarico has. It doesn't matter. The same thing happened with Beto Hussein O'Rourke, the cultural appropriator, and he lost. Here we go. Colin Allred, same thing. In 2024, Allred ended his campaign having raised $21 million more than Cruz. Allred lost by almost 9 points. Beto O'Rourke raised $45 million more than Cruz and lost by 2.6 percentage points. And the only reason he lost by he lost by only 2.6 percentage points is because Cruz phoned that election in, as I've told you over and over again, until the last few months when he knew he was getting his butt handed to him. And also, remember Trump versus Hillary Clinton, and it's not about the amount of money. It can only get you so far if you have a bad candidate. And Talarico's a very bad candidate for this state. He's great for Maryland or Massachusetts or California, but not for Texas, and we know that. He will not win. I want to do this. Coming up next, I've got a news story that came up from CBS 11 here in Dallas-Fort Worth about the fallen hero, Private First Class Isabella Gonzalez, and what the plans are and who is helping her family. It is a beautiful thing, and I will tell you who I recommend you donate to because of what they're doing to take care of her and her family. It's very precious. And, I watched the coverage on CBS 11, and a couple of words came to my mouth as I was reading it and looking at her picture and everything. And one was beautiful girl. Picture's right here. Beautiful girl. That's what comes to my mind. And I'll read it to you and get a little emotional, She's the same age as my daughter. Beautiful girl. Another word that came to my mind and to my mouth as I was reading the story was sweetheart. And she also loved, look at how proud she is in that picture. I'm going to tell you something. She wore what is it called, a stall or something like that, the thing that goes around your neck in graduation. She wore an Army one at graduation. This sweetheart was doing nothing but going to war. Do you know this sweetheart was stationed in Germany, and she signed up to go because she wanted to be in the combat area. So she was walking the halls of Louisville ISD in high school just a year ago. And I know that she's a warrior, and I know that she wanted to fight and I know that she was overjoyed to serve her country and loves this damn country. But I can't help but say, beautiful girl and sweetheart. And she's going to be coming home, and it's going to be tough. I want to get into that coming up next. The first thing I want to do is tell you that this show is brought to you by IRSprob.com. That's IRSprob.com, helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and tax planning strategies. Randy Martin's been my CPA for 10 years. Look at this. There's Randy, there's me, and then there is George and Ray, and they are still all on the team together 10 years later. Here's Randy lecturing or teaching the children at UT Austin, where he went to school. It's the best accountancy school in the state. He also won Longhorn 100 this past year because he is the best, and his business is run excellently. Randy's an amazing guy and a dear friend. So all my tax planning is done by Randy Martin, and this past year, 2025, was the year where he was really put to the test because it was my first year as a small business owner full-time, and it's been amazing. Randy's incredible. That's all I can say is just use him. If you have a loved one that you've lost and there's tax problems with that, if you have a business, there's tax issues, or you just want a great tax planner for your business or for your personal, he is incredible. Go to IRSprob.com. That's IRSprob.com, or call 214-214-3000, 214-214-3000. Tell him Chris Crock sent you. And also, my friend Jim Dutton from Texas Home Improvement. I was texting with Jim today, and not only is Jim the host of Texas Home Improvement on TV and radio in Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, and Austin, but Jim is also the owner of Due West Foundation and Plumbing, which is the only company that I use for plumbing and foundation issues for my house. They've replaced my water heater. They've replaced pipe underneath my foundation. When you do that, you also have to do foundation work because I have a slab foundation. They've done a grading in my yard, root shields. When I remodeled my bathroom, they did that. So they are the best. If you want the best, call Due West like I do. You finally have a plumber that you can trust. You finally have a foundation company that you can trust, and you don't want to use a separate foundation company from plumbing. You want Due West. What do? Not only do they do plumbing and foundation, they do retention walls. They do grading like they did in my yard. They do concrete leveling and tons of other stuff. If you want the best, call Due West. Go to du-west.com. That's du-west.com, or call 972-406-0912, 972-406-0912, and tell them Chris Crock sent you to Due West Foundation and Plumbing. Okay. Still have a little emotion because we're going to talk about now our hero, DFW's hero. And if you're just joining me, I want to give you another friendly reminder real fast. I will be filling in for my friend Mark Davis again tomorrow from 7 to 10 a.m. Central on 660 a.m. The Answer in Dallas, Fort Worth. Okay? So check that out tomorrow morning, and that'll be in 7 hours and 5 minutes. How about that? I better get to bed, right? Okay. Let's honor our hero. And this is all about reporter J.D. Miles. He did an amazing job. And also it's about a man who served our country and is at the American Legion Post 597 in downtown Carrollton. It is about this man and her. This man is named John Norsworthy. John Norsworthy is the post commander of American Legion Post 597. Some people like myself are like, what is an American Legion Post? And what is the difference between it and VFW Post? Well, let's just say this. This American Legion Post in downtown Carrollton is going to take care of Private First Class Isabella Gonzalez and her family, including feeding their meals, including transportation to Dover Air Force Base, where they will grade her body, along with the President and Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. And this is why, wait till you hear what I share that they're doing for her family. And this is exactly why we need to support the American Legion. And I would highly recommend donating to places like the American Legion Post 597 in downtown Carrollton because they're taking care of this family. Tuesday night, tonight, Carrollton City Council honored U.S. Army Private Isabella Gonzalez, Private First Class, killed in combat in Iran, or in at her in her Jordanian base in the dormitory area where they hit with missiles. They undoubtedly used intelligence from Iran, from China or Russia or both, to strike in the sleeping quarters. Isabella Gonzalez was a high school student in Carrollton just over a year ago. Gonzalez was only 19. The Army private was stationed in Germany, but wanted to serve and volunteered for an assignment in Jordan near combat operations in Iran. This is what American Legion Post 597 Commander John Norsworthy says. She grew up in Carrollton. She went to the same high school my son went to. She enlisted in the Army like I did. A lot of commonality. Her family lives like less than a quarter mile from where I live. It just feels, he says, different when somebody that close. The Louisville Independent School District released this statement. The Louisville ISD community is mourning the loss of Isabella Gonzalez, a 2025 graduate. 2025 graduate, you guys. Oh, I can see those eyes. See her eyes. You can really get a sense of her. It's a beautiful picture. Whew. The Louisville ISD community is mourning the loss of Isabella Gonzalez, a 2025 graduate of Hebron High School, who was killed while serving our country overseas this weekend. Isabella was 19 years old after graduating. That's a beautiful name, by the way. After graduating from Hebron just last spring, she answered the call to serve in the United States Army. She gave her life in that service, and our district is heartbroken by her loss. Not long ago, Isabella walked the halls of Hebron as a student, a classmate, and a friend. Her decision to serve after graduation speaks volumes of her character. On behalf of the students, the staff, families at Louisville ISD, we extend our deepest sympathy to Isabella's family, her friends, and all who loved her. We are holding them close during this incredibly difficult time. We are humbled by Isabella's service and by the devotion to duty that guided her. We will honor her life and the example that she set, and her memory will always have a home in our community and our hearts. Yeah, it's hard to read this. I'm going to share what the American Legion is doing, and I know it's not like the end of the world. I know it's not, $1 million, but it means a lot to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to the family. The American Legion is helping provide transportation for Gonzalez's family to travel to Delaware to accompany her body back to Texas. Commander of the Post, American Legion Post, Norsworthy says it's supplying meals for her relatives while also planning a public, listen to this, they're planning a public vigil after her funeral and possibly constructing a permanent memorial to her in Carrollton. And I pray that happens. This woman loved her country. This woman, she was so excited. She wore her army, whatever it's called, a stole or stall or whatever it's called that you put around with graduation. And she was so excited. She was gung-ho. So they are now looking at constructing a permanent memorial, hopefully to her in Carrollton. And the words beautiful girl and sweetheart are how I choose to describe her today. I'll keep following this with you, and we'll keep, reporting about it. Hot. It's hot in the city, as Billy Joel would say, right? Hot in the city. Construction crews, pet owners urged to take extra precautions during dangerous North Texas heat. It is hotter than hell right now, right? It is. Quote. And let me get the highs. 104 today. Now that was the actual forecast. Let me see what I got on my phone, because that's the official. Well, I think we're flipped over to the new day, so I might not have the official. Yeah, today's 102. Anyways, it's already we flipped into Wednesday morning, but 104 today, Tuesday, 105 Wednesday, perhaps. Thursday 102, Friday 101. Wow. So this one construction worker interviewed by CBS 11 in Dallas-Fort Worth says, construction worker says, water alone does not take away your thirst, so sometimes we'll take an electrolyte drink or water with lime and salt. We have to cover our whole body from the sun with sombreros, hats, and long sleeves. Absolutely. Have you ever been so hot that a slight breeze happens even though it's hotter than hell and you feel cool? That's God's air conditioning. There's times when I do I love doing my yard work. I love it. It's therapeutic for me. I'm a lawn Nazi. And there are times when I'm getting towards the end. It's like 6 o'clock and it's 100 degrees out, 102, 103 sometimes, 104 even sometimes. I drink like 75 ounces of water before I go out and do the electrolytes, and then while I'm out there, I do another 50 ounces. I mean, by the time I'm done, it's like 125 ounces within 12 hours. But you're in long sleeve and shirt and pants, and a gentle breeze comes as you're taking the lawnmower, the bag over to where dump the clippings. Don't put the clippings, don't mulch into the lawn. That's actually not good. It promotes fungus and stuff. Don't do that. And then you get a gentle breeze, and it feels so damn good, even though it's hotter than hell. Those are the days. Now, people are starting early in the morning. Some of these people with construction start way too early, which is not okay. When you stop sweating, that's when you are in a bad place, because if you stop sweating, that means you might be having a heat stroke. Get the hell out of there. You start feeling lightheaded. That's a sign you might have heat stroke. I'll give you the tip, and it's also mandatory for construction workers with TxDOT. Every 45 minutes, I think it is, they're forced to take a mandatory 15-minute break. And you go into your car with air conditioning, or you go into the house. What I do is, I think when I did last weekend, it was really hot. I did 40 minutes, I think, roughly. I don't know. And then I came in, and I just sat down for 5-10 minutes or so and had some water and relaxed. Checked my phone or whatever. Here's what annoys me. Triple-digit heat, says the Dallas Express, and 112 degrees Fahrenheit feels like. Feels like is a fraud. We do not need feels like. Feels like confuses people, and it makes people more melodramatic. Give me the freaking temperature. I can figure it out for myself. Feels like is for wussies. Feels like is for wimps. So yeah, heat indices as high as 112. That's feels like. Feels like is for wimps. I don't need that. Let me know if it's windy, cloudy, or rainy, and that's about all I need to know. Jazzy Crockett tried to call Argentina racist during the World Cup and embarrassed herself. Why? I will tell you why in a second, but here's what she said.
The World Cup that captured the imaginations of the entire world when they saw all of these people of color that was playing for all these teams. And ultimately, if you recall, the last two teams, it was Argentina and Spain. And it seemed like the vast majority of the world was rooting for Argentina, or actually against Argentina, right? And why was that? Just give me an explanation if you could guess. If you'll just let them finish the answer.
Spain had the best team. Maybe that's why they were rooting for them.
There's also a racist history that exists as it relates
Mr.
to
Byer,
Argentina.
you're recognized.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A racist history. You saying a racist history from Argentina? Do you mean you're saying that Spain, who colonized the and enslaved the world under its empire? Here, Crockett somehow landed, and this is from Fox News, on the side of the country that spent centuries colonizing much of Latin America. This is who she went with. She didn't even know who won, as you saw there. She had to ask him. So it's funny, too, because this is a columnist from Outkick Sports. It is a kind of historically illiterate self-own. They say one side was a world-renowned Ivy League historian, the guy that she was asking questions from, a world-renowned Ivy League historian from Yale, I believe, stating the obvious that fans usually root for the better team, and there she was claiming that somehow Spain is not racist colonizers or whatever. And I'm going to tell you this. I had a Spanish from Spain. I had a Spanish RA, resident assistant or whatever in college, and he was the most freaking racist guy ever. And I have heard that Spaniards are very racist, and they hate Mexicans, for example. In fact, my friend who was is Mexican, was Mexican in school from Mexico. We were very, very fast friends. And he's a very great guy. Anyways, he said something racist about him. I'm like, what the hell? To me, I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. So, anyways, I want to tell you this too. In a moment, we're gonna get into the Cubs fan who slapped. You're gonna see it if you didn't catch this. A Cubs fan who slapped a kid because he wouldn't stand up for the national anthem at the Cubs game today. You have to see this, and I'll tell you what I think about it. But the first thing is, I had my roof replaced by Blue Ribbon Roofing. Blue Ribbon Roofing put Class 4 shingles on my house, and this is what they look like as they were unloading the Class 4 shingles and putting them on my house. Those are Class 4 shingles, y'all. Class 4 shingles can get you up to a 40% discount on your premium. I got an 11% discount on my premium with Class 4 shingles. I'm saving $613 a year on my premium. Also, my new roof discount added to the Class 4 shingles. I am saving $2,200 a year on my policy. I'm saving $184 a month. And I just saw, I'm a USAA guy, which is huge if you can get into them. And I just saw, I think that literally my monthly bill, which is massive for umbrella policy, auto, home, and everything. My policy, literally, I think I'm paying nothing for like 3, 4, 5 months because I just got this done. So that's Blue Ribbon Roofing. The other thing I learned from Blue Ribbon Roofing, and here's the team. This is John Hopkins, the owner, his wife Tish, and then on the far left is Trevor, their son, and Jenna, his wife. Jenna's the first person I talked to when I called Blue Ribbon Roofing. And there they are winning the Best of McKinney. They win it year after year after year. And this is what my old roof looked like. This is John on my roof.
Know anything about it? I got to depend on you.
I think you wanted that. I guess I'll do the show then.
Yeah, you do the show. And I'll do the roofing. See that white line?
Yeah, what is that? That's us on my roof, okay? That's what it looked like before. Let me go zoom out again here. Boo. That was what my roof used to look like. Look at it now. Look at this roof now. Wow. How nice is that? There's a nice pop there. Here is another picture of my beautiful brand new roof with Class 4 shingles. This is them putting new decking on. And my decking was not up to code. And my roof was replaced 7 years ago. And they did not, either they didn't care to bring it up to code or they didn't know. I didn't pay for the decking, this full thick decking. And by the way, John puts radiant barrier, has radiant barrier underneath the decking. That is now on my roof. I can now go on my roof and jump up and down if I want to. It's done the right way, and I didn't pay for the new decking because it was not up to code, and my insurance pays for it. That's the difference with Blue Ribbon Roofing. You don't want to wait too long. If it's been 7 or 8 years since you've got your roof replaced, get him on the roof. I didn't think I had damage. I did, and my company paid for it, my insurance company, so that's exactly why. Get them on. A lot of companies, after 7 or 8 years, they only give you the actual cash value, not the real cash value. It's a thing that happens with a lot of insurance companies. So you're not going to get the full value of the roof. It's only going to be what they think it's worth. Don't wait. Have that happen before it's too late. Get them on your roof for an inspection. It's free, obviously. Go to blueribbondfw.com, blueribbondfw.com, and tell them Chris Croc sent you to blueribbondfw.com. Okay. That just happened, by the way. My roof is brand new, and they're still doing work on the house. They're going to be doing some painting. We're going to do some really cool gutters. Copper. It looks like a copper penny look. And we're going to put a pop of black on there that'll go with the roof. I mean, and we're going to do lots of other stuff. I'll show you the pictures. Okay. Cubs fan who slapped national anthem sitter ID'd as a Vietnam vet as he reveals what happened off camera. This is from the New York Post, but this happened today or yesterday, I don't know, but watch this. I want you to see this, and I have a strong opinion. It might surprise you. Here it is.
Stand up.
Can I pause for a second? Do you know how many years it's been since I've been in that stadium? How many times I went, my dad took me, get a chocolate malt, pretzels, not pretzels, chocolate malt with a little wooden spoon thing that comes with it, peanuts in the shell, and by the way, I saw somebody eating the peanuts whole, so I thought that's how you're supposed to eat at the Cubs game. So I eat whole peanuts with the freaking shells on. Maybe I saw it wrong, and I asked my dad. He's like, no, they don't do that there. I'm like, I don't know where I saw it, but I saw it there, and I guess I'm the only one. Let's continue on. Wrigley Field, look at that. Oh, baby. All right, so he's a Vietnam veteran. He lost guys, his friends at war. He's very passionate about standing up. He smacked the guy in the head because he's like, get up, and he wouldn't get up. He smacked him in the head. A lot of people are cheering this. I'm not. You can't, and I'm going to give you the specifics because it turned out it ended very well, actually. You don't see that here, but it did end very well between him and this guy, this kid. But you don't compel people. You don't say, hey, because I was in the Vietnam War, I'm not knocking the guy, but I'm telling you he was wrong. You don't say, hey, because I served in Vietnam and I lost my friends, I get to smack you in the head and I get to force you to stand up. That's compelled speech. That's the exact opposite reason of why they fight. One of my buddies went and fought in Iraq, under Bush. And he said he couldn't stand these people that are showing up at stuff, burning, American flags and protesting. He said, but I fought for their ability to protest, even though I don't agree with them, and that's why they serve, so we can be free. So it's not okay. I mean, I obviously I'm not mad at the guy, but it's like, dude, that's not the way to do it. I'm not cheering the guy on. Now, he was asking him to stand. He said the man's name is Robert Rob Chavez. He told the young man his veteran status and war stories, but he remained seated. As the two apologized afterwards and made amends afterwards, he also said the young fan even bought him a beer, and they eventually discussed why they felt so strongly about the national anthem and what it represents. Though Chavez said security came to kick him out, the younger fan told him everything was good between them. Eventually, the young man stood up, prompting Chavez to say, thank you so much, young man. So it ended up okay. But don't smack people to try to make them do it. That's not the beauty of our country. Journey. Jonathan Cain, who I guess is the lead guitarist for Journey. I like Journey, but I don't know this. I've never heard this guy's name before. I know he's one of the original members. He actually is conservative and attacked Bruce Springsteen. This is in the New York Post today. Journey rocker slams Bruce Springsteen as annoying, bitter old man for political rants at concerts. I love this. Quote, I used to be a Democrat back in the old days, but I just couldn't go there anymore, said Jonathan Cain, 76. I'm a diehard conservative. Guys like Bruce Springsteen should shut up, really, honestly, shut up, Bruce. Him and who's the other one? Robert De Niro. I mean, who cares? Guys, do your art. I try to keep politics out of my music. Now, he says, people say, well, you're a Christian, you're a conservative. And I'm like, so what? I don't preach it on stage. I don't spend 10 minutes, talking about it. As Bruce, I mean, what the heck? I used to like him, and now he's just annoying. He's an annoying, bitter old man. I mean, stop it, really. You were born in the USA, weren't you, dude? So act like it. But even that song, if you look at the lyrics, it's kind of a diss to our country. It is. Paul McCartney. He quotes Paul McCartney saying, Paul McCartney said, hey, when I sing Hey Jude, Democrats and Republicans sing together, and I feel the same way with Journey. I love that. I agree. Here's somebody who actually has Buc-ee's right. Buc-ee's is overrated in the Star Telegram today. Let's end America's beaver worship. Buc-ee's location in Daytona Beach has been attracting more visitors than the famed Daytona International Speedway. Wow. He says the average dwell time, one report says, at Buc-ee's, the average dwell time is more than 20 minutes, roughly twice the average of other popular convenience store places. What's wrong with people? He's right. People make a big deal out of Buc-ee's. It's not a big deal, other than to make it a big deal when it's really not a big deal. He says, speaking of jerky, Buc-ee's flavor offerings include Bohemian garlic, and Korean barbecue. It seems like the answers to a question nobody is really asking. I will see you tomorrow, and tune in the morning as I fill in for Mark Davis, 7 to 10 a.m. Wednesday morning on AM 660 The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. This show has been brought to you by IRSprob.com. That's IRSPROB.com, helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and